Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are back once again with some more LTC action. And if you missed it on the previous 8 weeks of LTC, you can go back to check them out because so you know what is actually going on. Now today we are playing the Cleveland Escavaliers coached by Slick. Now if you missed out on the last video that went up a few days ago where we played the Aston Villa Plumes versus Dix, we actually picked up our third one of these of the season. So now, I think if we win the rest of our games, we still got potential of making playoffs. So it's a very slim chance, but there's still a chance. So if we do pick up this today, it'll be a step closer to making those playoffs. Now, as you can see by above me, Slick has got a very, very scary team. He's got Pangoro, Alone and Ratcake, Livani, Mr. Rhyme, Pinkerton, Magmortar, Golduck, Gabite, Clefairy, Lunatone, Registeel, and that Braviary. Now, the most scary one on this team is probably going to be Registeel, Mr. Rhyme, Pangoro, mainly Pangoro. So what we've done is we've bought Scarf Barbecue Ribs because, well, Scarf Barbecue Ribs is pretty much the only set I think I've brought on Emball so far this season in LTC, bringing Choice Scarf because our team is quite slow, and a Choice Scarf to Emball helps the team a lot. So Choice Scarf for Reckless this week instead of freaking Blaze this week. We've got Superpower, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, Wild Charge, 200 speed, Jolly Nature, 252 attack, 56 HP, with 200 speed to outspeed his entire team. I think outspeeds the Vanny at this speed, which is good. I think it outspeeds Pangoro under Sticky Webs because he does have Sticky Webs potential in that Livani. So hopefully we can do the most of that this week. Also we've got Superpower Flare Blitz for dual stab, we've got Earthquake to hit the Mortar for some damage, and the Pink Urchin for some damage, and we've got Wild Charge as well for that Braviary. Probably good want to switch in onto this thing, and the Golduck as well. So we've got options for Barbecue this week. Hopefully it can help us pick that up today. Next up, I think making its debut or maybe its second appearance, not from a lot, but we've got Karma, our Kecleon, on that left over with Protive with Recover, Knock Off, Drain Punch and Toxic, Max HP, Max Special Defense, Careful Nature. Now, he's to be our special defensive pivot because he's got loads of Magmortar, Golduck, Lunatone, Mr. Rhyme, Pink Urchin, all potential special attacks on his team. Doesn't really have a clear fighting type, or his fighting type is Pangoro, but we've got other options for Pangoro, and even if we wear a bulky set, I don't think we want to send it on a Pangoro anyway. So we can change into a dark type, a fighting type, and a poison type. Don't know if that will help us in the long run, but it might do, you never know. We've got knockoff like the Lunatone, potential items on Evil Eye on the Clefairy, potential Choice Scarfs and all that kind of stuff. Drain Punch is mainly there to hit the Ratcate and the Pangoro for some damage. Pangoro is probably going to be likely switch into this thing, pretty like Shadow Sneak and whatnot. So if we can Drain Punch both Ratcate and Pangoro, that'd be great. We've got Toxic as well, just because LTC is all about status, so we can Toxic everything on the team barring the Registeel and Clefairy if it has Magic Guard. We should be okay for that. So hopefully Karma can be our special defensive pivot this week and help us pick up that W. Next up we've got Nicki Minaj, our Sandaconda, who we didn't bring last week, but she's making a comeback today. Leftovers with Shedskin, because Shedskin is really useful, especially with Toxic and Paralysis, Burns and all that good stuff that happens in LTC. So we've got Stealth Rocks and Glare. We've got pretty much the same set we bring most weeks because it's one of the probably only viable sets you can actually bring on Sandaconda, other than the rest Coil set. But you know, I don't really like setup options that much. I prefer to hit as much as possible without having to stay in and set up. So Rest, Stealth Rock, Glare, Earthquake, Stone Edge. It's my kind of moveset. Edgequake can hit pretty much most of his team. I don't think he's got anything which, barring that Lunatone, I think we can tick everything for at least neutral damage with this. We should be okay for that. So hopefully Nicki Minaj can help us put in the work and help us pick up that. If I can struggle to pick it up, I'm struggling to pick it up myself, pick up that W. So next up we've got Toad, our defensive option this week in Shinotic, leftover from Flexible, Spore, Strength Sap, Moonblast, Charge Beam. Mainly here to be our defensive pivot on our team, because defensive threats are, barring Braviary, none of them can really touch his super effective damage. Because Pangoro, Raticate, and Garchomp are all his main physical threats, and they're all weak to Shiinotic, Moonblast. So, yeah, it should be useful. We can support everything on the team, barring, obviously, Leavanny and Pink Urchin if he managed to get Electric Terrain up, because we can't put anything to sleep at that point. But, you know, things can be done. So we can Shrimp Sap all those Mons. You can Shrimp Sap the Braviary if you want to switch in, unless he brings Defiant Braviary, which then we could be in a heap of trouble, because we could just click Shrimp Sap and he'll send in Braviary and it'll immediately become +1, which isn't great. We've also got Charge View as well, so we could hit Golduck, Braviary, try and get a +1 boost, and then we can definitely kill with Moonblast next turn. If you're bringing a bulky Pangoro or bulky Gabite, we could probably kill it +1. So hopefully we can get some effectables off. But I don't think we've even got any effectables off this entire season so far, since we've picked up Shiinotic. So hopefully today will be that day, and we can help us, you know, in this game. Now next up, if you did miss out on last week's video, the last LTC video, Gang the Chimecho actually helped pick up that W with this exact set. So I thought, you know, I don't know what else to bring. I might as well bring the exact same set. I put in so much work last week. Why not try it out again? Because looking at the team now, he's got 2 Dark types. Probably wasn't the wisest idea to do that, but I didn't know what else to bring. Ambipom didn't really seem useful. Freaking Shelgon didn't really useful because he's got a Gabite and a Registeel, which is Wall Up for days, and a Clefairy. And a Clefairy and Registeel up. And he's got an Ice type as well. He's got a lot of options which can resist or do damage to Shelgon, so that wasn't out the window. And, well, Chimecho just put in so much work last week. We might as well give him a chance today, and hopefully help us pick up that W today. And last but not least, we've got our special defensive Ice Gems, our Sableye. We've got very, very bulky this week, with only Barbecue Ribs actually invested in speed. Everything else is either in bulk or Karma's in bulk, Toad's in bulk, Gang's in bulk, Ice Gems is in bulk, Nicki Minaj is in attack, Barbecue is in attack. So, you know, we've gone quite bulky this week. It's not really my playstyle, but we'll see how it goes today. We've got Will-O-Wisp, Recovered, Taunt, Nightshade, standard Ice Gem set I used to bring, except this time it's especially bulky because we've got Will-O-Wisp on it. So we've got Burn, we've got Toxic, we've got Sleep, and we've got Paralysis. So we've got all 4 statuses on our team. Hopefully it can come pay off in the game. And what we do around here before the game is we hide the post and we go for this. As you can see, it's got Registeel, Magmortar, Braviary, Pangoro, Lunatone, and Lurantis and Leavanny. So he hasn't brought this Golduck, hasn't brought his Clefairy, hasn't brought his Alolan Raticate, hasn't brought his Pink Urchin, so he can put things to sleep. Obviously, barring that, not brought Goodbye either, which I found very interesting. So, all those threats for Shelgon, only one of them has turned up. It's quite annoying, because I could have brought Shelgon instead of Chimecho, and maybe could have done some work. But hey ho, worst comes to worst. So I think I lead with Sandaconda to lead with, because unless he leads with Leavanny, we should be okay to lead with that. So I lead with Nicki Minaj as he leads with Lunatone, thinking, okay, let me just get up my Stealth Rocks. As he gets up his Toxic, and I get turn 1 Shed Skin. And I'm like, yes, you know, it's going great. We get a free Stealth Rock top for nothing. Champion. I think he defaulted his Braviary. So, you know, that's going to take some damage even if it wants to come in to try and get rocks away. So it should be good. So we get a free Stealth Rock up to turn 1, which I find absolutely amazing. So I'm glad the Lunatone predicted him to switch out at this point. He doesn't. So he just sets up his own Stealth Rocks and he goes for a Psychic. Doesn't do that much to, just 42% to freaking, I don't know what I was thinking at this point. I was thinking, right, he's going to switch out. Right now, picking a grass type move. Probably going to go back to Registeel or Magmortar. So I'll get a Shrimp Sap off. He doesn't. He goes out into Braviary. So I thought, all his switches into this thing are physical. So I might as well click the Shrimp Sap button. He stays and he goes for Toxic. Which I didn't really see. I don't know why he did that. I don't know. Maybe he thought that I would think that, so he would do that. So he's double thinking me. I'm being pro play. So it's not that impressive to play. It's a bit terrible, but it's fine. Right, so he goes to Toxic on Toad, which isn't great, not gonna lie. So I switch out to Kecleon, predict him to switch out into not Magmortar this turn. So I switch out into Sandaconda, predicting a fire type move or something on me. Fire Blast. OHKOs me. And I was thinking, wait a minute. Why did I do so much damage? I know Sandaconda's special defense is kind of trash. What is my special defense? Yeah, my special defense isn't great. But even still, I should be able to live one Fire Blast. Surely. But no, I don't. It OHKOs me, and I'm thinking, great. Pretty much my only Registeel counter, pretty much, and my only Magmortar counter is gone. So I lose. Because I can't really, unless I can manage to Earthquake with Emboar. But he's not going to stay in, knowing, because most Emboar sets either ring head charge. Is it head charge or head smash? Head smash or Earthquake, so he knows this. He knows I'm Choice Scarf, so he can go to Lunatone, pick the Earthquake. I do go for. So, it's not going great this battle so far, not going to lie. So I'm going to Shiinotic, predicting, because he can't really touch me with this set. Goes for Moonblast, it's about 30%. But now, Psychic is in range of killing me. So I go for Moonblast, predicting to switch out, he doesn't. Psychic just kills me off. So it's going great so far, with 2 Mons down after turn 9, not the best. So we're going to Kecleon to get a knockoff off. Kills the Moons, and I'm thinking, yes, perfect. That's fantastic. Perfect. So he goes into Pangoro, and goes Sableye, pick a fighting type move, which he doesn't go for, goes straight up for a knockoff. OHKOs Ice Gems, and that's that gone as well. So 2 Mons on my team are now switched in and died to that's 2 Mons which have switched in now, which have just died straight away on 1 turn, which isn't great. Especially being a bulky team. I thought the team was bulky, but apparently it's not, because Sandaconda got 1 shot by a Magmortar, and Sableye got 1 shot by a Pangoro. Now I know he's knockoff. I was thinking, right, he has to be a banded Pangoro to OHKO a Sableye with a neutral hit knockoff. Has to be. So I go into Emboar, predicting to just be go for a knockoff, which would do that much damage to me. Go for Flare Blitz, it lives. It's very unfortunate, because now I thought, oh, he's going to be Choice Band, he's going to knock off my Choice Scarf, that's going to be really beneficial late game, because then Braviary and Nivan will both outspeed me, which won't be fantastic. But he wasn't, he was like Expert Belt or something, I don't know what item he had, but he was bulky enough to live a Flare Blitz from me, which isn't the best right now. And I get OHKO'd by Drain Punch. Isn't great. So now I've only got a Kecleon and a Trimecha left, and I can't really see anything happening. So I go for Protect, predicting him to do what to go for. Goes for Knockoff. So I go for Dazzling Gleam, knowing how to spell it. I want to go for Protect just in case he's switched out, predicting a Psychic type move or anything. So go for Dazzling Gleam. Trimecha gets another kill this week. Champion. I'm thinking, right, Trimecha can maybe do this now, because of the bonds he's got left on his team. If this thing was gone, I'd probably try and do it. So I go for Protect to scout what this thing wants to go for. So I was going for Bulk Ups, which at this point I thought, yeah, I've lost. Because, oh, maybe not. I go for a Future Sight on this as I go for a Protect now. As it goes for Roost, predicting my Protect, which isn't fantastic. Obviously, I tried to go for a double Protect to try and, get a Future Sight off and live next turn. Does a solid 37%, so not the best in the world. But now I'm stuck in with Karma, just special defense bulking up, bulking, and I just die. And that's, yeah, GG to that game. Didn't think I played it as well as last video, but GG did slick anyway. So I think next week we play. I can't remember who we play next, but I think if we win, we've still got a chance if we win next week. Next game. So fingers crossed we can do that and pick up this next week. Otherwise, it all rests on the game after that. And if we lose that game, then we're pretty much out. and I'll just throw random crap together teams, and there'll be no point in me doing these videos because, you know, they're non-playable, they're non-competitive games at that point. So if we get to that stage and we're out, I might as well try and start a new league. I'm thinking about trying to upload BR because UCC is pretty much over as well, because my last game was pretty much the same distance as well. So I think I'm going to be uploading BRL and the Battle Company to replace it with LTC and UCC. So those are the two at the moment I'm thinking about replacing LTC and UCC with. So if you want me to do a different league that I'm part of, let me know down in the comment section down below. But I think those two are the ones that started the most recently, so that they're the ones I can mostly catch up with. And if it's at all possible, try and do live games. If not, they'll just be like once a week, you know, more in depth, because I'll know the teams more than that. Because this game was played the 6th of May. What's the date today? Like mid-May, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So who knows? If you guys did enjoy the video, however, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!